Hi, I'm John from Chatimize, and today we're going to talk about the future of chatbots together with Gareth Ford. He's a ManyChat bot building contest winner in which he built a template for audience scoring and segmentation. Gareth, thank you for coming. Can you introduce yourself to my audience?
That's very kind of you, John. Thank you very much for that high profile intro. So my name's Gareth, Gareth Ford Dickens. On Facebook, you can find me as Gareth Ford. It's a bit of a name change issue, so let's not talk about that. But yeah, so do you want me to talk a little bit about what I do?
Yeah.
Cool. So I am now a chatbot marketing agency. The clients that I have now, or my main business is my personal brand, which is just Gareth Ford.
Yeah.
Chatbot extraordinaire, if you may. But I represent a company which is Eclectic Motion Media. So that's eclecticmotion.com. And I do all the chatbot stuff for them as well. So I'm in the process of launching my own business, which isn't a personal brand, because I do need to do some private stuff as well. So there we go. And yeah, I mean, I guess things kind of changed for me when I won the ManyChat competition. At least in my category, because there was 20 winners. I'm not sure how many entrants there were, but they've got 85,000 members now. So I'm assuming the entrants were probably in the tens of thousands at least, if it wasn't 85,000. But yeah, so that's me, chat marketer. I've got a little bit of experience now, not as much as some, but I've been lucky enough to gain some really good connections in the space. I've been mentored by some of the top guys in the chat industry, and in the last 12 months, we've done about £1 million in front end revenue for my clients. Not to mention back end, because if we told them about the back end, we'd probably be able to charge them much more, but they don't tell us about that.
Okay, awesome.
So, yeah.
Can you tell a little bit more about the template that you made for the ManyChat contest?
Yeah, so ironically, and I hope they don't hear this, I actually got kicked out of that bot. But so I built it for. So there's a bit of a story to it. So this is going back a couple of years now, I think, and what happened was I kind of approached this client. Like, I knew all the theory about the chat marketing, and like I could see what a great tool it was, but I couldn't do it. And I was lucky enough to be in contact with some people that did, so I wasn't like soliciting things to clients that I couldn't actually do. I just couldn't do it myself necessarily. So I've gone to this client and I've kind of pitched them, and I said, look, I've introduced them to the bots, and like this whole, went and met him in London, like an hour and a half presentation, which is way too long now. I'm much better at it now, but he really loved it, and he went, yeah, this is great, we want to do it. And it was one of my earlier clients, so I kind of needed the client, I guess, to get started. And he said to me, this is great, the guys love it, we just want to see 3 examples of your previous work. And I was like, oh yeah, that's no problem. I hadn't actually built 3 prior to this that I could really take credit for. And so what I did is I kind of tried to wing it, and I went out into I was building on Chatfield at the time. Actually no, maybe I wasn't. I was building on ManyChat, but I reached out to a couple of people that I knew. I said to them, look, I've got this client, I really need the client. Can I use one of your bots as like an example? And they were like, oh, you can't really do that, and that's quite unethical. So what I did, and I asked like 4 or 5 people, and they were like, no. So what I actually did was I just said to the guy, can you give me a week? And he was like, yeah. I said, I'm just really tied up at the minute. He said, yeah, sweet. So in that week, I built 3 bots, and I literally just hammered out the ManyChat course. Like I probably read it over or studied it 2 or 3 times over at least. I just up from sort of like 6 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night, just going. So and I eventually come out with this template, which was lead generation. Well, so I built 3 bots to kind of give to the client, and they're all of like really good standard, actually, to be fair, even looking back now. And it essentially, to be honest, I'm not going to lie, like it wasn't anything like super special. I mean, not that I think it was super special anyway. It just, all it was lead generation. So the copy was really good. That's what it was, like the copy and the images that I used in it, and like it just, I looked at it the other day actually before we came on, and I thought, you know what? Even now, like I've looked at some of my bots from previous, and they just weren't very good at all. But that one really, really stands out to me. It just looked and flowed so nice. Like I think where I kind of win over other people is my attention to detail, and like the actual user experience is so important, and that's kind of where I pride myself. So it was just a series of segmentation. It was really good. It was really fun to use, and it was just a series of segmentation. So it's like, if you are this, then you're going to go down this route. If you are that, you're going to go down that route, and just more segmentation, and then follow ups and sequence messaging and stuff like that. It wasn't super crazy, but it was just the copy was just really, really good, and the user experience was really good, as I said. So that's it.
Yeah.
and the client. So the long story short, I know I've been going on for a little bit here, but the client actually said at the end of the 3 months, he was like, you know what, this is great. We've got the bot now. See you later. And he kicked me out. And then, about a year later, I entered it into the ManyChat competition, and it won. So it couldn't have been that bad. I mean, he's still got the bot. He still uses it. But,
Yeah.
I never told him that it won. But yeah, it's quite ironic. So there we go.
And this is just one example of your first clients. What I mainly see, because you're more on like the agency side and the client side, and normally I got guests who are more on the chatbot software side.
Yes.
And what I often see in the community is that a lot of people struggle with getting clients for building a chatbot, because everyone is like, "Oh, chatbot's really nice," but actually using them, not a lot of businesses do that. So how do you convince businesses to actually use a chatbot?
Couple of things, definitely. Like, God, where do I start? I'll tell you what really turns it around for me, because I go into some funny meetings sometimes. Like I go and pitch a lot. So when I first built my presentation, I learned it. Like I really learned it. At the end of the day, for me, there's like one key aspect of business, which is unless you like that person, you're not going to do business with them. And that's what I open with when I go in there. And I literally say to them, this is what I say. I go in there and I say to them, "Hi, my name's Gareth. I'm going to be showing you about chatbots. By the way, I've got 2 kids with 2 different women, and I don't want to talk about it." And they laugh. And the reason I do that is because I need them to like me, let the barrier down, and then take the information in, instead of sitting on the edge of the seat all the time.
Yeah.
So the first thing is like actually having that relationship with the client. Second thing, statistics, like super important, super important. I always talk about open rates compared to email, and if I know that they do email already, I will show them how we can tie into email, and then map that journey, or whatever it may be, or just build their email list. The thing is, a lot of people go and try and reinvent the wheel. You haven't got to do that. You kind of just, I go in and see what are you doing already that I can turn into a chatbot style in any way to make it better or perform better, and then let's try and do some stuff that you haven't done before. So statistics, rapport with the client. If you've got work from before, like always throw that in there. Something I do which is a little bit risky is I always do like live demos, and one of the tricks that I use is like personalized images. So, and that always, so like I was saying, I go into some funny situations sometimes, and the guys, I'm sitting like in a room of directors, and they're like, I'm sure they're looking at me like right deep into my soul, and they're thinking, this guy's just an idiot. Like, who's this guy? And then I'll say to one of them, the most stern-faced one, "Patrick, could you please scan this QR code for me?" And he'll scan the QR code, and everyone's a little bit like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" And then the personalized image comes up, and my trick is I always put their name on a check for a large amount of money, and it's addressed from myself with today's date on it, and just really make a point of that. And that's what they like. So live demos is a thing. If you can't do live demos or don't want to do live demos, record it.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I do. I always have like recordings in there. So and actually probably the fourth thing that really sways people is excuse me, I would make it very clear to them that this is not just a one and done. You are building an asset here. You're building a list of people that it will cost you a little bit of money, but you can reach out into their inbox anytime you want. And with some optimization, you can get 90, 80, between 80 really sky's the limit. So between 80 and 100% people open it at least, and depending on what your offer is, the conversion goes from there. And whilst we're still in a time where chat marketing isn't saturated, it's not like email right now. I urge them to take the most of it, and if they don't, then I literally say to them, like, if you're not going to do this, your competitor will, and if you do, you're going to be a trendsetter in the industry.
Yeah.
So those 4 things are super important.
So basically, it's like having a good relationship with the client.
Yes.
Showing statistics, maybe
Yes.
if you have, showing some use cases and
Yes.
some kind of personalization through our live demos or just
live demo.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. I'm just trying to think of anything else. That's it. If I think of anything, I'll make sure I interrupt you to bring it up.
Yeah.
I'll try not to. But no, that's it. And if you can make them, like, don't be afraid to be yourself in the boardroom when you're going for a meeting. Like, at the end of the day, Gary Vee, I believe, said it best: authenticity wins, and I believe that very, very true. Like, I go in dressed, I'm now in my Vans t-shirts and my jeans and shit, and they like me, they know me, they like me, they trust me, and they're the 3 things that you need before anyone buys anything from you. And I'm just honest, I'm genuine. Like, and I also won't tell them something that I can't do. People can tell that very easily.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And how do you think chatbots in general will develop in the coming year, maybe in the coming 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years. Well, I thought you were going to ask me in the next 2 years.
It's also possible. It's just, I don't know whether you thought about it.
Yeah, no, totally. I think I would. You're going to see some more people coming in, like the back end of 2019 and now, or up to now. I hear people going on about chatbots all the time. Like, even if you were to go back even 6 or 7 months, maybe not so much. A year, probably no one at all. Good news is that, I think still less than 2% of businesses on Facebook have or use chatbots, but you will start to see an increase, and we will see the bigger players jumping in. Like, this is the thing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of big players jumping in, like Fiat, the car manufacturer. They've got a bot. A couple of other ones I've clicked on recently. I get loads of chat ads, as you can imagine, because I can click on them all the time. But Fiat have one. They're just missing a couple of tricks right now. They don't know how to leverage it, and they also don't know about the value first kind of thing that I'm lucky enough to know about through marketing and the people that have mentored me. Shout to Justin Shakluna, by the way. He's the man. And so you're going to see a lot of bigger players jump in, and you are going to start to see saturation. But I think we're going to see a lot of voice to chat as well.
Do you have one yourself? Do you have Alexa or Google Home at your home?
I don't. But I tell you what I do. I use Siri all the time, and I dare say his name because he always pops up when I say it. I'm just looking at the phone now. But yeah, Siri's super useful for me, and it will. Yeah, I think it's very hard to say. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of dialogue flow as well.
I also think that because, especially now, first of all, not a lot of businesses do chatbots, but also a lot of businesses don't do voice. And right now you can still have access to all the Google actions that you can develop them now, and they will still work over 2 years when maybe everyone is using them.
Well, yeah, exactly. And ultimately, it's gonna be a ranking system as well. If you're in there first, it's the same as the SEO game. If you have an old domain name, you have points on people anyway, just because of the age of your domain. And so yeah, like, I think if anyone's listening to this and they're thinking, how can I solidify myself for the future, I'd say definitely start making those actions for Alexa. And
do you also do this already for clients, or based on chatbots?
So my main game is lead gen. That's what I'm good at. Like, I just create really good customer experiences, but specifically for lead gen. I do have like some personal brands that I manage, and like I have like some restaurant use cases, and so the template that I won with was for Forex traders. So they were a Forex trading company. But I've done like wine brokerage. I've done a whole lot of things, but lead gen for me is the main one. There's a couple of tricks which I don't particularly want to reveal, to the public, because everyone will start doing it. But listen, the information's out there. I'm not doing anything that's crazy. I'll just probably put it across to the user in a nicer way. So I'm not doing the voice stuff, but I would like to. I think you kind of got to get the right company as well. If you've got a semi-large company or someone who's in a competitive niche, that's where you're going to kill it on the voice. So if you're in I don't know, like a garden center or something like that, because I don't know this, but I go into a lot of homes where there's people in their 40s plus have Alexa. I find more than the younger generation, and they're the kind of people that are looking for stuff using it. But yeah.
And you already said that. I will do some kind of predictions here, but Gartner, Oracle, Business Insider, they all said like 2 years ago in 2020, 80% of businesses use chatbots. You already said like 2% of all Facebook pages only use chatbots. So you think like it's way less than those 80%.
Well, it depends. It depends how you define that. Like if you said to me, who's going to be using like ManyChat or an instant messaging bot that sits solely on the Facebook Messenger platform, I'd still say it's low. Like I think the opportunity for bots is even though. So I went to go and see Salesforce, not to pitch them, but to like a Salesforce conference I was invited to.
Yeah.
And they were talking about bots, and they were talking about ManyChat as well. So if you were saying to me, who's going to have a ManyChat bot or a Facebook Messenger bot, I would say probably still not a lot of people, because also there's also not many people out there that can do it very well. This is the thing. I probably know off the top of my head maybe 10 people that do it well, maybe 20 people that do it well. But out of 85,000 people on ManyChat plus ChatFuel, Mobile Monkey, and there's a couple others out there that I don't use, but I'm sure are great platforms as well. In regards to any kind of chat, 100%, 80 people, probably 100. Every page, every web page that I go on now has some kind of chat, whether it's
live chat, chatbots,
live chat, whether it's a ManyChat chatbot, which you don't see many on the on web pages that I go on anyway. But Intercom's the main one that I see used. The people.
But also, use. I looked into that, and they're just like for the small and medium enterprises, not really useful, or it is useful, but it's really expensive. It's like $400 a month.
Yeah, I've never looked at it. And I can imagine it is. Yeah, but listen, the joke is it can't really do anything that ManyChat can't do. Do you know what I mean? And like I always, put that as a solution on my client's website if they have FAQs or whatever, because to join a customer to a live agent is super easy on ManyChat. And I don't know whether. Yeah, I love the platform. I really love. I think ManyChat's. I think personally, can I make a recommendation or can I not?
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah, I think ManyChat's where it's at. I really, really do. Like, they're just taking leaps and bounds. So many platforms. Like their customer service is phenomenal. The relationship that they have with everybody in the community is it's just fantastic. And that's where it's at. They do everything. They will, if they don't do it now, they will do it.
Yeah.
They've got expanded to WhatsApp, Instagram DM, iMessage, SMS already, email. And that's where it's at. But I think like a lot of businesses use chatbots in general. Like Salesforce have their own one, and like Zoho have their own one as well. And AI. That's probably what I should mention really for 2020 or 5 to 10 years. Like AI is really going to start smashing things out of the park. Yeah, massively. You've seen it already.
Yeah, I also think for the future, especially for 2020, I think in general, more people are going to use chatbots. That's but that will be just a normal increase, like the increase in the beginning of the web with websites. I think second, especially with the new Facebook policy, is that people are going to use more channels. Not only the most chatbots nowadays are made on Facebook Messenger, people are going to move away from that or going to use that, and also in addition, email, SMS. I think Instagram and WhatsApp are also coming this year.
Yeah.
So more like an omni-channel experience for the customers, and more advanced applications, just move away from just question answering and going into lead generation or abandoned carts or, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you want to see in 2020 related to chatbots?
Related to chatbots. I just want to see, I love the platform so much. I want to see more good marketers jump onto chatbots. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
There's enough bad ones out there, and there's enough people that, ruin the platform for people. The whole reason we've got this one-time notification come in, which is good, it's a good thing. Like, I like it.
Did you also lose clients because of the one-time notification? Because I see a lot of anger in the community with the new policy and people saying, well, okay, Facebook Messenger is dead, we move on to another channel.
Yeah, no, definitely not. No. And I'll tell you why, because I have, seen that anger as well. And ultimately, there's a lot of people that don't understand it, but also, like, this just paves the way. This gets all the people that aren't good at marketing and just spamming people. It gets them out of the way, and you just have to step your brand up, or step your game up. Like, if you need more ways to connect with people, do more Facebook Live videos, post more stuff, spend a little bit more money on ads, maybe optimize your audience a little bit better so it doesn't cost you so much. Or ultimately, this is the first thing I said when this whole thing came out. People going, I can't send broadcast to my audience anymore. Oh, it's going to cost me. Listen, if you can't monetize your audience, okay, if you're not willing to spend money to make money essentially through a broadcast style, then you just stop marketing now. Just stop. Just give it up. Like, call it a day. There's some. You have to stay compliant, but there are ways that you can do that and stay compliant without having to reach into your pocket. But if you're making money, spend some money. That's it. And I think it just, like I said, it just clears the path out from all the people that aren't good at what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it's just perfectly natural. The Facebook platform was just accessible by anyone, and anyone could just spam their clients. And now it's just step up the game, make a normal user experience like you would with email. And I think it's just perfectly normal. Just step in the foots of your user and make a good experience, and then it won't do any harm to you.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing I'd like to add to that as well is seems to have forgotten it, actually. No, I haven't forgotten it. So no. One thing I'd like to add is the secondary thing I would say to my first point is that if people don't want to hear from you, why do you want to spam them? Why do you want them on your list? Just get rid of them. There's more people out there. There's how many? 60? Is it 6 billion or 66? There's a lot of people in the world, or there's I think at the moment roughly 1.5 trillion people on Facebook. On Facebook Messenger platform specifically. Kind of ties into the Google Alexa thing as well. So like I said, people who use that Google thing, I feel are an older generation. In the UK, there's Facebook Messenger is actually the second most used app between the 45s and 65s plus.
Yeah.
Second most. And guess what the first one is? Facebook. And the third most used is YouTube. So you've got both platforms on there that are the second and third most used app. So they'll tie in really well together. If someone can get away in, it might be me, it might be someone else. There's a lot of people in the industry who are doing bits right now. And again, so I tell you what, just to add to the client thing, like what helps you get clients? Confidence. Like if you go in there, I get nervous before I go into every meeting, and I would say I'm established in the game. Some people may not agree with me. I'm relatively established in the game. I've got some good results, but I go in there, and so this will probably help anyone if they're going to go into a meeting. Remember, when you go in there, you're the expert.
Yeah.
You're talking about something they don't know anything about. So you could tell them a complete lie. I wouldn't advise that. But if you look in their eye with sincerity, they'll believe you. But that's the difference between good and bad marketers, because if you do lie, you will get found out at some point. I've done it. Like we've all done it to come up in our career. I've done it, and I get found out. Look, an idiot. So I'm at the point now where I don't have to. I don't have to make things up. I guess I'm just going to be honest. Like authenticity. Like, as I said, authenticity is the key here. We've all done it. If anyone says they haven't, then you're a better person than me. But yeah, like if you have confidence and authenticity, then you'll win.
will
And you just
work.
have that's it. Yeah, that's it.
And getting back to the first question I asked, what do
Sorry.
you, I totally went off also, so it's no problem. But what do you want to see? If you can choose one thing that you think, okay, it's needed that this is going to happen in 2020. What should it be?
I'd like to see more. In what regard? What regard? Because that's a very broad question. I've got lots of answers.
I know. Just I said about that I wanted to see more like omni-channel experiences and more people coming and more advanced applications. What do you want to see?
I think so. So I think I'd probably agree with you. What I'd really like to see more is more like AR stuff. So more augmented reality experiences.
Yeah.
And I've not actually built something that's capable. I know people, and we're in the process of kind of putting something together. But if the platform could be a little bit more, I don't know, tolerant, or maybe more built towards maybe AR in some way, I think I've got a company to go and see next week.
Did you already saw that Google implemented this in their
in the
search
maps
results?
Oh no, I haven't seen it in the search results.
Yeah, I just saw it, and maybe I can add a link in the description. But what they did, and it's not on like every product, but I know it was like on a Burberry bag. Then you can like add. There was an extra button like look at it in AR.
Yeah.
And what it does, it goes over to your phone, and you're just making like a picture of your table with the Burberry on it. The bag is on it. But it should be really nice if ManyChat can make such a feature, but it's really, really advanced, I think.
Oh, super advanced. But if like that will be, so this is half a problem as well, because when that comes about, then you'll see some real big boys jumping on the chat thing.
Yeah.
Because AR is so advanced right now. You don't see a lot of people doing it that haven't got the infrastructure to handle it, or the tech, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I'm a marketer. I'm really good at what I do. I'm not a technical guy. I'm not. I know some bits. I know some bits. I'm not super technical, but the AR stuff. I know that. Have you seen that Google do it in the maps?
Yeah. That
So
you just can look at a certain view, and then he knows, okay, go that way.
Yeah. It will give you arrows to where to go, and it's that's fantastic. That's fantastic. But yeah, chat's where it's at. It's here to stay. 100%.
Okay.
100%. But don't depend on any single source of income either. So.
No, certainly not. Do you have certain questions for me or certain notes to the audience that you want to say?
I think something has come clear for me. I mean, I guess if I could give some advice, maybe.
Yeah.
Something has come clear for me. In more and more, but I kind of had this epiphany like 2 years ago, and it still hits me every single day, funnily enough, in some way. If you're thinking about, maybe you're thinking about launching the next chat marketing platform, maybe you've seen something that you can do better than someone else, or some kind of feature, developer with your marketer, whatever you are, the only key bit of information I can give you, or actually the main bit of information anyone can give you, is start. Just start. Like, don't go, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, or no one's going to like it. If you start, it will work for you in some way. Or if it doesn't, you'll find out quicker than you did it, and you'll be sitting there in a year's time, because I've done it before as well. I've been, oh God, I've got this great idea for this. Honestly, to go off on a bit of a tangent here, like I was into like land sourcing, so sourcing land for developers, and I used to see, honestly, like I've got an eye for stuff. It just seems that way, and I used to see some like great plots, like absolutely great plots, and I think, oh yeah, I'll do it like next week, or I'll do it whatever. And then I'd drive by like 2 months later when I hadn't taken action, and somebody's got the plot, and like, or whatever it is. So just start and go out there, like network with people. People want what you have. Chat to people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree. I just started in like September last year with Chatimize, and I had thought about it like for about 5 months, and then I was like, just begin, and I hope it will succeed. And now I have like 2K users,
go.
2K users a month, which is quite large, especially if I'm not a big person in the search results yet.
Well, it's funny you should say that actually, because I've used some of your case studies as like information for me.
Yeah.
And saved them. I've got them on my computer anytime I see a case study. And you were quite high in the search results. Like
Yeah?
you were maybe like fifth. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fifth,
because I had some software checking it, and it was also like, okay, position 20. And I was like, okay, that's not you, but also differs. For example, I'm also doing the chatbot software reviews. Then it
Okay.
really differs per software. For example, for ManyChat, like thousands of people made reviews about ManyChat because they're the biggest. But for example, Botstar, only 2 to 3 reviews are there. So it also differs a bit on that. But I really like that you use my content.
Yeah, well, I have to say I haven't used it to show it to clients, but more for my own knowledge, and it's there
personal.
and it's sitting on my computer, and I would obviously credit you if and when I do, which I hope to at some point.
Okay, thank you. Well, Gareth, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate that. I do. Like, there's a lot of chat stuff going on in the UK. So if you could reach out to more people in the UK, I think we'll definitely appreciate that. You had Rupert on, I think, before, didn't you?
Yeah. Rupert,
like
he was the first one.
Yeah, he's really good at what he does as well. So if if anybody's listening to that podcast or has listened to that podcast, I haven't listened to it, but I'm sure what he said was, take note of it. He's very good at what he does.
Yeah, I completely agree. He is like with Walletly is just pure lead generation for local shops, and also now he's extending. It even becomes better every day. But yeah, well, thank you for coming. For the listener or for the viewer, thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Until next time.